Welcome back to Daybreak USA. Hello, friend. Angie Austin here, along with my friend and mentor, Jim Stovall, author, speaker. He's authored over 30 books. He runs his own movie studio that helps people who are sight impaired, or just plain as we call it, blind, right, Jim, be able to enjoy movies. And you're just such an inspiration to me. You know, after you lost your eyesight, you could have really had a tough life, but you may have made a better life for yourself than you would have had you not lost your sight as a teenager. You really inspire me, my friend.
Well, thank you, and a happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. I have some good news to share with you in a minute, but first let's talk about your Wisdom for Winners column shared around the world. The title is Lost and Found, and you're talking a little bit starting off about having a great memory is a wonderful tool, so I'll let you proceed.
Yeah, a great memory can be a tool. It can also hurt you, and we'll get into that in just a second. I mean, we used to all remember 50 phone numbers, and now nobody remembers phone numbers because they're all in your phone.
Right.
Around with some very intelligent people that don't even know their own phone number because it's all in this little handheld device, and those are great tools. And one of the biggest compliments you can pay anyone is to remember their name.
Oh, yes.
And I know that's a challenge for a lot of people. And as a blind guy, I always get to cheat because people come up to me and they tell me who they are. And I don't have to struggle with that like you do.
Yes.
But there's a great book by a friend of mine and a mentor of mine named Jerry Lucas. Jerry was a great NBA player and then became a memory expert, and it's called The Memory Book. And if you want to remember people's names, you need to find an old copy of Jerry's book, and because it's a great thing to do for people. I was in an audience of 300 executives, and Jerry stood in the door and introduced himself to everybody as they were coming in, and then they scattered throughout the auditorium. And he began his presentation by starting on the front row, the aisle seat, and went through all 300 of them. It took about 10 minutes, and he told everybody their name.
What?
And that was an amazing display of what we can do. And it's not that he has any talent that we don't have. He developed a skill. But having a good memory can also hurt us. We all watched the beginning of the NFL season yesterday. Great quarterbacks have a bad memory about one thing. If they throw an interception, they forget it. It's gone. It's in the past.
Yes.
Great pitch. If they give up a home run, it's over. And you and I need to develop that. We've all done things we're proud of, and we've all done things we wish we had done better. And we need to just stop it right there and say, that isn't me. That was then. This is now. And that doesn't define who I am.
You know, I love that. My son, he pitched his first, he started pitching this weekend. It was his second time pitching. And I tried to give him a mantra because there was a girl in the Olympics, Helen. She was the first female wrestler to get gold. And she was up against someone who had won 14 years in a row, I believe, from Japan. And then she's a Christian, so she had this mantra in her head that Christ is in me, I am enough. You know, it's almost like Philippians 4:13. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. And you know, you and I are pretty open about our faith, so I was trying to give him a mantra to shake off a bad pitch because it's so psychological. You know, as a kid, trying to teach an 11-year-old, like the psychology of pitching was a very interesting thing. And he started to get it after the first inning because the first inning pretty much psyched him out. But then after that, he seemed to be chilling out a bit. So I love that idea of them not having a great memory. So what do you want us to take away from this? What do you want us to learn from your column?
Well, we can look back at our past, and we can take the good things, we can leave the bad things, and we can define what's our future. Shakespeare said the past is prologue, and we can take our past and we can rewrite that and say, I'm going to focus on the positive and I'm going to forget the negative, and that was a weak moment. That does not define who I am, and I'm moving forward.
I love that. All right, you and I have a similar heart for spreading hope, and you say that you're in the message business, right?
Right.
So I came across a story and I thought, oh my goodness, this has Jim Stovall and Angie Austin written all over it. So basically, these 400 high school kids, they're from Christ Presbyterian Academy in Nashville, and they have a teacher by the name of Ben Ellis. And this guy apparently is just so loved by his students, and he's had years not making a lot of money, not becoming famous. He's had years of positively influencing children, young people who are going through, you know, being a teen right now is no easy thing. So what happened was many of them at school had kind of gotten the idea that they should go over to his house and sing some worship songs. He's bald right now from his cancer treatment from the chemo, but he's also on oxygen, and he appears to be not doing very well in the video. Now, you're going to hear him in the video. You'll hear a light kind of voice trying to sing along. And interestingly enough, country singer Tim McGraw, who lives in the area, he captured the video of this moment, and apparently he was there, and it's gotten more than 16 million views already. So these kids, spur of the moment, they're taking tests, they're prepping for exams, they're in the middle of class. Spur of the moment, the whole school decided to get on buses and go to his house, and you've got 400 kids in his yard, and he's sick inside looking down from his window as they all sing to him. So take a listen.
I'm free, if my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord.
Are you kidding me, Jim? I mean, how can you not cry and hear that?
You got my allergies going here this morning. That is an amazing experience, and that's some of the things we need to remember is the people we have touched. I mean, just him getting in touch with those feelings of those young people he has influenced. It reminds me of great films like Mr. Holland's Opus and Capra's It's a Wonderful Life. That's what it was about, was you forget how important you are until you realize all the people you've made a difference to.
And his father spoke out about how proud he is of his son and his son's ability to touch so many children who think so highly of him and love him so much. And to me, I think about the love that he's poured into them and how he's reaping what he sowed.
Absolutely. You plant those seeds and out comes a forest.
Oh, a couple of allergy tears this morning, Jim Stovall. How do we find you, Jim?
Jim Stovall, Stovall, jimstovall.com.
Excellent. Thank you, friend. All right, coming up, I want to talk about those Wells Fargo executives. They're being spared the chopping block while 5,300 employees are being fired, but the bosses told them to do what they did. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.